Ball. Roseburg baseball is coming up on The Score.
A line drive snagged out of the air at shortstop by Paxton Berg.
Don't miss any of the action this season. Subscribe to 1490 The Score on YouTube to catch every pitch.
And with a double at second, Danner Wirtz helping his own cause, gets Roseburg a run on the board.
Now, let's head to the field for the pregame show. Here's the voice of Roseburg High Sports, Joey Keeran.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, as we get ready for Roseburg High School baseball this afternoon here on The Score. A little bit of a schedule switcheroo for us here today as the Roseburg Indians get ready to take on the South Eugene Axe in a doubleheader a day earlier than initially anticipated. Two teams were scheduled to meet tomorrow, but with impending weather coming up around the state of Oregon here in the Valley, we are moving things up just a little bit and trying to get these games in here today. The weather at the ballpark has been gorgeous here today, but there were some interesting clouds looking like they were making their way our direction, and it has started to get a little bit shadier here as it looks as like those clouds might be starting to block out the sun just a bit. We're hoping to get in a pair of games against South Eugene today, so keep your fingers crossed as we get ready to bring you Roseburg High School baseball here on The Score. Well, a very good afternoon to you here on this Friday. I'm Joey Keeran. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. We will be talking with Coach Troy Thompson in just a few moments here as we bring you the Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. And we will have your Southern Septic Service starting lineups in just a bit. Roseburg looking to build off of a 19-3 win over South Eugene on Tuesday earlier this week. The Indians coming in at 7-3 overall, 4-0 in conference play. For South Eugene, they are 0-9 and 0-4 in conference play. We should have two games coming up for you, and we're just going to be getting things started at 3:15 here this afternoon. So we'll have that interview with Coach Thompson coming up next when we come back. I want to remind you that we've got today's game streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel, so check it out there. Hit the subscribe button and follow Roseburg High Sports throughout the rest of the school year. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll get a chance to catch up with Coach Thompson here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM. And 1490 AM.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Back here with the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Roseburg Indians baseball getting ready for a doubleheader against South Eugene. They've moved things up, hoping to try and avoid any nasty weather that might be coming its way here later today and into the weekend. Right now, looking nice out here. So we get a chance for the Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview with Coach Troy Thompson. Coach, first off, just last-minute changes to his schedule. I know this spring, that's nothing new for us old hats have been around and have had to go through this many times. But when you have to make last-minute adjustments like that, how does that process go for a team to try and get you guys ready 24 hours ahead of where you anticipated being?
Yeah, that's just it. You make adjustments and make your best decisions or best options you think you have to try to get a couple games in here. And looking ahead at our forecast, like we started on Monday of this week, we always look ahead that far and saw this weekend didn't look great, and it's continued to stay that way throughout the week. So we thought our best chance would be to try to get them here on Friday, and, we've done that and made that arrangement. So the kids were aware of that, starting as early as about Wednesday, that might be an option, and by Thursday that came to fruition. So, here we are. So, yeah, we adjust a little bit. It doesn't change what we're doing. Lineup-wise, on the mound, arms, things like that. So we'll still stay the same whether we play today or tomorrow or Monday or whenever the case may be. So that is not a big change for us. But obviously, not playing on a Saturday at noon doubleheader. Now we're, Friday afternoon at 3 and 5, hopefully, and we get them in and move on to the next. So, there is a little bit of change, but, the communication was solid, and we got that word out to our players, and hopefully everybody else got that as well. So we're here now, and we're excited to be on the field again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we talked maybe briefly before things on Tuesday at South Eugene that knowing this weather was coming and just how important it is to try and stay on schedule with getting games in and not having things either moving later and then condensing things later on in the season or trying to get those in. So to be able to get it in maybe a day early, but be able to get it in here kind of close to on schedule, just how important is that for you guys to be kind of able to not have that lingering out there to try and make up games later on?
Exactly. When you start talking about pitch counts, and that's what the model we've had here for a decade or more, however long it's been with our pitch counts and what our pitchers can do on a weekly basis, that makes a difference. So to stay on schedule is the most important thing. Like I said, it didn't affect us playing a day early, but obviously on the back end now you look at if you get pushed to Monday, then that makes a difference for next Saturday or next Friday or Tuesday of next week. So it just carries down, trickle-down effect when you get pushed back. So hopefully we can avoid that, and like I said, get these in here today.
Well, as you guys get ready to take on South Eugene, you saw them up there at their place, and you guys come away with, on the scoreboard, a big win. But how did you guys kind of evaluate just how the performance went up there against South Eugene and ways that you can try to maybe come away and get better from that game?
Kind of a funny game, the way the game turns out and how you play and things like that. Offensively, we did a lot of good things. We got on base, and we took advantage of some opportunities we had to steal bases and to get runners the extra 90 feet and to move ahead. And we're able to get, I don't know what our hit total was on Tuesday, but a number of hits from up and down our lineup. So that was nice to see. And to push a bunch of runs across the board is always a great thing. Defensively, limited opportunities for us on the defensive end up there. And, on the mound, Danner gave us a chance to win. He didn't give up much, but, when you come out and score that many runs, sometimes those are tough games to stay focused through and get through, and that's something we're working on. So all in all, great effort team-wise. We got more than enough on the mound from Danner for his 4 innings, and then Glasser came in and threw a pretty clean bottom of the fifth there, I guess. And so it's good to get him some time up there too. So, all in all, come away with a victory on the road in this league. Yep, we're going to take every one of those we get.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys go here today, and you talk about the hitting, and so many times in sports you talk about that, something can be contagious, and you see ball go in the hoop, and you start to feel better about your shot. You feel like in your years that you've experienced that when you guys have a big game offensively, that can hopefully start to be in a snowball effect for the rest of the season?
Well, you sure hope it is. You sure hope, you have some good swings and then get a good result, and those turn into more good swings with more good results, throughout the game or the series or the, half a season or a whole season for sometimes, But, just the confidence knowing that they can and knowing they can get the ball in the barrel consistently no matter who's on the mound. is a great step. And hopefully a few of our guys took that step on Tuesday and can come out and continue that here today. That's always the goal or the plan or the challenge, is to continue that. It's great to have a lot of hits or a few hits in a game, have a good personal game. But now the challenge is to come out and do it again and sustain that, and make that something we can contribute, in a game-by-game activity or game-by-game setting. So, hopefully that carries over. And like you say, it can be contagious. You see a lot of guys on base, and it doesn't always take that screaming line drive to the outfield to get a guy feeling good. Sometimes it's just getting on base, or sometimes it's just being on base and scoring a run that can kind of change your mindset and change your eyesight a little bit on what you're looking for, and your mentality changes with that, and good things can happen. So hopefully we can continue with that as we get on the field here today.
All right, Coach, best of luck out there today. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Joey.
And that is Coach Troy Thompson joining us on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We'll come back with your Southern Septic Service starting lineups here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 14.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field as we get ready to go for today's Game 1 of our doubleheader. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for the South Eugene Axe. It'll be Gino Humphrey, the center fielder, leading off. Jonah Alexander, the pitcher, batting second. Burke Sherman, the catcher, will bat third. Mike Grilly at first base, hitting cleanup. Liam Donlin, the shortstop, batting in the sixth spot. Bowie Graham's batting seventh, or make that. He's batting sixth, starting at second base. Eli Bishko, the left fielder, will bat seventh, starting in left field. And the third baseman, Zane Brown, batting eighth, while Bryce Roberts, the right fielder, will bat ninth. First pitch is in, low and inside. It is ball one as we are underway here in the ball game. On the mound for the Roseburg Indians, it's the lefty Fletcher Coleman, the junior. 1-0 pitch, in for a strike as we are underway here in today's ball game. Game one of a doubleheader between the Indians and the Axe. Swinging away, that ball fouled out of play by Gino Humphrey, the leadoff batter in the lineup. We'll take a look at the defense for Roseburg here in this first inning. Right now, a 1-2 count at the plate. Line drive shot will get into center field. On safely will be Gino Humphrey over at first base. He's got a leadoff single for the Axe. So one man aboard. And Jonah Alexander, today's starting pitcher for the Axe, will stand in, looking to help his own cause with a man at first and nobody out. Coleman delivers a bit high for ball one against Alexander. This is the fourth start of the season for Fletcher. He's thrown 14 innings of work so far. No wins, no losses. 2.00 ERA, 19 strikeouts, 12 walks, and his 14 innings of work. He misses outside for ball two against Jonah Alexander. The 2-0 from Coleman is high. A throw down to first base. Tag not going to be there in time. 3-0 count. Behind the plate, Amos Bowers, the battery mate for Coleman, hurling the ball down to first, trying to get the pickoff with Humphrey at first base. A 3-0 pitch from Coleman. Misses for ball four. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup defensively for Roseburg today. We mentioned Amos Bowers behind the plate, catching. Danner Wirtz out at first. Mason Young at second. On the left side of the diamond, it's A.J. Black at third and Paxton Burke at short. In the outfield from left to right, Nick Ruiz, Christian Corba, and Rylan Glasser starting in right field. There's nobody out now. Runners at first and second after the first walk of the game for Coleman. And Fletcher will miss low to the three-hitter. It's Burke Sherman that is up to bat. And time called. Out to the mound will go Amos Bowers for a conversation. We saw Danner Wirtz, the frontline starter, game one starter in these three-game series for Roseburg, on Tuesday, struggled with walks. He ended up giving up a few in that game. Just kind of struggled to consistently find the strike zone. Didn't end up hurting him down the stretch, but he walked four and ended up hitting three batters. A 1-0 pitch just outside from the lefty to the righty. And he falls behind 2-0 against the next batter. Center field camera a little bit getting blown around in the wind as the conditions are starting to pick up here. A strike across on the 2-0 to the three-hitter Sherman. We had a game before ours, Umpqua Valley Christian at the 2A, 1A level, taking on Brookings Harbor out of the 3A level. Conditions were fantastic. It was bright and sunny. It was warm. There was no wind. As a bunt shown on the 2-1. A throw down to second base. They got him off the bag. It's a foot race going to third. Tag applied. They'll go out to second base, and they that was almost a spectacular double play on the bases there. It was a strike at the plate for Burke Sherman. They get Gino Humphrey in a rundown between second and third. Paxton Burke tags him out. Jonah Alexander, a late break to second. He ends up at second base, but they almost got him there stealing after Burke made the tag as he was falling to the ground, throws it back to second base and nearly gets the double play. A 2-2 pitch, fouled off. Ooh, jeez. That ball laced into the first base dugout where South Eugene is all hanging out, and that ball right over the top of the heads. It hit off of something hard in the dugout, bounced out. I think it hit off the railing in front of the dugout, then up on top of the roof. That is something I've never seen here. 2-2 pitch remains. I guess I might have, yeah, that's full count. The Axe thought it was ball four. Burke Sherman back to the plate with the full count pitch coming up. So you've got a man at second base with one out. I'll update my scoreboard as well for those that are watching online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and he goes from thinking he had a walk to now sending his way back to the dugout. Burke Sherman will go down with the strikeout against Fletcher Coleman. There's two away.
Next batter will be the first baseman, number 12, Mike Grilly.
So Mike Grilly now, the first baseman, will stand in, batting in the cleanup spot. Clouds have started to roll in. All the blue sky and sunshine we had earlier has started to evade us. As a line drive shot will go right to Paxton Burke at short for the final out here in the top of the first. Mike Grilly lines out on the first pitch he sees from Fletcher Coleman. That'll do it for the first inning for the Axe. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and one man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning scoreless with Roseburg coming up to bat here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, going to the bottom of the first, taking a look at your Southern Septic Service starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians. Paxton Burke will lead it off at shortstop, followed by Amos Bowers, the catcher. Fletcher Coleman is the pitcher, batting third. At first base, Danner Wirtz will bat cleanup. Third baseman A.J. Black is hitting fifth. At the center field position, batting sixth, Christian Corba. Left fielder Nick Ruiz will bat seventh. Mason Young, the second baseman, hitting eighth. And the nine-hitter will be right fielder Ryland Glasser. Taking a look at the defense for South Eugene. Burke Sherman back behind the plate. Mike Grilly out at first. Bowie Grams at second. On the left side of the diamond, Zane Brown at third. Liam Donlin at short. In the outfield from left to right, Eli Bishko, Gino Humphrey, and Bryce Roberts. They will look to support their starting pitcher. On the mound, it is right-hander Jonah Alexander that will get the start here in the second game of this three-game series, but it is the first game of our doubleheader here today. Jonah Alexander, the junior. He's a guy that they like up there on the mound, big kid, and he is going to get to see if he can keep this game scoreless. Paxton Burke will lead things off. He takes high and away for ball one as we are underway in the matchup. Burke hitting switch. He'll bat left-handed in the matchup. 1-0 delivery to him. Takes a pitch in the dirt for a 2-0 count. Southern Septic Service, from residential to commercial. Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service, woman and veteran owned, and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. Pitch misses low again, and Burke is out to a 3-0 count. Alexander will deliver and gets one right down the middle for a strike as Burke was taking all the way. Roseburg had 16 hits as a part of their 19-run game on Tuesday at South Eugene. 3-1 pitch to Burke, fouls it away to the parking lot. In that game, Paxton Burke was 4 for 5 at the plate. On the season for Burke, he comes in batting .486. 3-2 pitch. Line drive to left field. He's got himself the first hit of the ball game for the Indians. A man aboard for the Tribe to get things started here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless ball game. One on, nobody out. Amos Bowers will bat. Line drive shot between the shortstop and third baseman there for Burke, going opposite field for the switch-hitting lefty. He is aboard. Roseburg upping their team batting average to .276 after that game against South Eugene on Tuesday. Runner going, strike at the plate, throw down to second base, and Burke is in safely as the throw goes wide of the bag. Strike, 0-1 count for Amos Bowers, but into second base safely with a stolen base for Paxton Burke. For Burke on the season, that is stolen base number 16. He has been piling them up, and he's going for third. He will slide in ahead of the tag, and that is stolen base number 17. There's a 1-1 count at the plate for Amos Bowers. Not the first time we've seen Paxton steal second and then steal third as well. He works his own way around the bases after his leadoff single. Now Amos Bowers can swing away, trying to drive him in. Fouls off the pitch on the 1-1 delivery. Burke showing off the wheels out there. Gets himself 90 feet away from home. Amos Bowers, the 1-2 pitch. Late swing, defensive to keep himself alive at the plate. Our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. Proud support of our local community and youth sports. That's Bowers Industrial. Appreciate their sponsorship, as well as appreciate Coach Thompson and his time. Pitch gets by the catcher, Sherman. Throw to the plate. The tag out at home. They get it to the plate just in the nick of time for the call. And Burke out at home. It's not going to be a call that the home fans are happy about. There it was. So out at home, Burke trying to show off the wheels on the bases, gets caught stealing on the ball that got by. And there's one away, nobody aboard. It was a foul ball once again for Bowers. And he'll lace one to right field. Boy, that stings just a bit there. And that ball gets by the right field. Bobbled out there by Roberts. Up to second. Bowers is heading for third. He'll get in standing up. That'll be a base hit and an error out in right field for Roberts. Bowers aboard and all the way around to third. I was going to say that stung a little bit in the fact that the single by Bowers would have easily scored Burke, who tried to get – I mean, you can't fault him for trying to score on the pass ball, but it did not take much longer for Amos Bowers to get a base knock to right field that would have scored the run to put Roseburg ahead 1-0. But he's at third base, and the Indians have a man in scoring position once again as Fletcher Coleman will stand in. He takes a breaking ball high and away. The lefty at the plate. Fletcher Coleman is a lefty as the throw back to the mound goes into center field. That will score Amos Bowers no problem. 1-0 Roseburg in front. That'll be another error for South Eugene. That one will go on the catcher. So 2 errors here in this first inning. Roseburg gets a run, and they lead it 1-0. Bottom of the first. 1 out, nobody aboard. Coleman will take low and inside, a 2-0 count. Delivery to Coleman is high and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Third hitter in the lineup, Fletcher Coleman. On base machine. He's getting on base at a 500 clip. Leads the team currently with 12 walks on the year. He does take a strike on the 3-0, so he doesn't get his 13th walk. And he'll foul off the 3-1 pitch to stay at the plate. Just 1 out so far. It came as Paxton Burke tried to score on a pass ball from third. Jonah Alexander on the mound. Coleman will lift it in the air towards left field. Tracking that ball down will be Eli Bishko for the second out. 2 away. Roseburg leading 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Up to bat will be Danner Wirtz. And Danner maybe wasn't his sharpest game on the mound on Tuesday, but boy, at the plate was he something. He went 4 for 5, scored twice, had 6 RBI. He had 2 triples in the matchup, going opposite field with a couple of triples there at South Eugene High School. He'll stand in with 2 outs and nobody on base. Takes a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Roseburg coming in with a 4-game win streak. Swing and a miss by Bowers. He falls behind 0-2. I said by Bowers. That's by Wirtz, excuse me. Danner will take low and inside. A 1-2 count for Alexander here in the first inning. Roseburg got the first 2 batters aboard, only get 1 run out of it with nobody on and 2 away. They're trying to see if they can put a crooked number on the board, taking high and inside, a 2-2 count now for Wirtz. Back on Tuesday, Roseburg scored in every inning, and they scored at least 2 runs in every inning up at South Eugene. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3, and Alexander will get the Axe through the first inning. Just 1 run in for Roseburg, a strikeout to finish off the frame. And the Indians take a lead, but felt like there was something more brewing there in that one. 1 run came in on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, and nobody left on base. We will head to the top of the second inning. Roseburg leading South Eugene here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Come back for the top of the second inning. A pitch missing on the first delivery for Fletcher Coleman, as it is Liam Donlin that will lead things off for South Eugene. Donlin will take outside. The count goes 2-0. Fletcher Coleman in the first inning gave up a hit and a walk, but was able to get through it without giving up any runs. A 2-0 pitch down the outer half of the plate, in for a strike right around the knees. 1-0 ball game here. Today's ball game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, as a ball back up the middle, sharply hit by Donlin into center field past a diving attempt from Paxton Burke. That'll be a base knock for Donlin here in the second. Second hit in the game for the Axe. They've got a man aboard with nobody out. Your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. That is Barnes Heating and Cooling. 1 on, nobody out. High for ball 1 to start things off to Bowie Grams, the second baseman. Graham stands in. Takes a breaking ball low and inside. Bowers sliding to his right to get in front of that one, up out of the crouch. Roseburg softball also had their games moved to today to try and get them in against South Eugene, as a strike is across. Roseburg softball currently leading 8-0 after 2 innings over at Roseburg High School, playing on their turf field back behind Finlay Field on the campus there at RHS. 2-1 pitch from Coleman. Hits the outside corner for a strike. So good start out there for Roseburg softball. They won 8-0 in their first game of that series up in Eugene on Tuesday. Time called before the next pitch. So both Roseburg baseball and softball moved up from Saturday, playing here today. Both teams trying to get in a doubleheader. 2-2. Strike 3 called at the knees. And down looking goes Grams. Second strikeout in the game for Fletcher Coleman. Man still at first base for South Eugene. Eli Bishko will stand in, the left fielder. Pick off throw to first. Got him off the bag. They got him in a rundown, and the tag will be applied by Burke. There's 2 away, nobody on board. Donlin gets picked off by the lefty. Threw it over to Wirtz at first base, who quickly got it to Burke, who ran down Liam Donlin for the putout. Nobody aboard, 2 down. First pitch in the at-bat to Bishko is a strike. Eli Bishko in Tuesday's action, 1 for 1 with an RBI. Swings through for strike 2. In the top of the second, a 1-0 lead for Roseburg. Fletcher Coleman on the mound. Strike 3 called, and that'll wrap up the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Another strikeout looking for Fletcher Coleman. He's got 3 punch-outs total in the ball game. No runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base for South Eugene. We will head to the bottom of the second inning, and Roseburg coming up to bat, leading 1-0 here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect.
For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Bottom of the second inning, first pitch, a called strike to A.J. Black, who will lead things off, the third baseman. Roseburg leading 1-0 against South Eugene. Jonah Alexander delivers. It's a ground ball to third. The throw across the diamond will get A.J. Black at first base. Zane Brown coming up with the play across to Mike Grilly for the first out. One away, Christian Corba batting. Today's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. Christian Corba takes outside and low for ball one. Jonah Alexander in the first gave up a couple of hits, a couple of errors in that first inning, didn't help him out either. Fires a strike on the corner. 1-1 count for Christian Corba. Corba was 0 for 2 in the game on Tuesday. Scored a run, had a walk. The freshman waits on the 1-1. He'll chop one right side, and it's a big, high, bounding ball through the right side into right field. Corba's on with a one-out single. Third hit in the game for Roseburg. Corba will have his first hit in the series against South Eugene. That ball chopped into the turf, and the springy turf here at Champion Car Wash Field, that ball just high hopping into right field. One out, one on. Nick Ruiz will bat. Pickoff throw to first, and Corba's back in safely. Corba's got good speed on the bases. Nick Ruiz at the plate. They are playing in a bit at third. Zane Brown. There's another pickoff throw to first, and back in goes Corba. Zane Brown playing in a bit at third, expecting maybe the possibility of a bunt. Alexander, first pitch, runner going, a breaking ball for a strike. No throw to second base. Behind the plate, Sherman couldn't get it out of the glove cleanly, so a stolen base for Corba. He's into scoring position with one out. An 0-1 count at the plate for Nick Ruiz. The 0-1, outside and low. Baseball on a trampoline. Comment on the YouTube channel. Yeah, that's kind of how that ball looked, springing into right field. That's about right. Corba after that single to right field, on at second base. The 1-1 to Ruiz. Check swing holds up on the breaking ball that tails away from the right-hander. Ruiz was 0 for 2 in the game on Tuesday as well. He did have an RBI, had a walk in there as well. Nick comes in, batting .217 on the season. Chopped that one off his front foot. Fouls it away for strike two. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Ruiz, the junior, waits on the 2-2 delivery. Alexander will kick and fire. It's a chopper left side. Tapper back to the mound. Alexander fields, throws to first. In there in time. Up to third base goes Christian Corba. At first base, close, but I think that the call was on target. as Nick Ruiz hustling down the line, can't beat out the throw. 2 away. First pitch to Mason Young, elevated for ball 1. At third base, Christian Corba trying to come around a score. Lone outside from Alexander, 2-0 count. Mason Young with a man at third and 2 away. Roseburg so far has not been held without a run in any inning against South Eugene so far this season. As a pitch across on the 2-0 delivery. And it's in for a strike. Roseburg scored in every inning on Tuesday up there in what ended up being a 5-inning victory. Mason Young will foul off a pitch for strike 2. So they're trying to keep that trend going. They got 1 in the first. They lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Corba's on at third. Young at the plate trying to bring him in. The 2-2 from Alexander. Swing and a miss, and he will leave him stranded. Here in the second inning, Roseburg unable to add to their 1-0 lead as a strikeout. It'll be the second in the game for Jonah Alexander, and it gets him out of the jam. Here in the second inning for Roseburg, no runs on 1 hit, no errors for South Eugene. 1 man left on board for the Tribe. We will head to the top of the third inning here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Here in the top of the third inning, leading off for South Eugene, Zane Brown at the plate. Takes a strike. He's behind 0-2 in his at-bat as we come back here. Fletcher Coleman, 3 straight pitches, and he gets the strikeout. Third consecutive strikeout for Fletcher Coleman. He's got 4 total in the ballgame. He retires Zane Brown to start the third inning with Roseburg leading 1-0. It'll be the 9-hitter Bryce Roberts up to bat. He takes high for ball 1. Joey Keeran here with you at Champion Car Wash Field. I think we might have seen a few raindrops as we were just getting things underway, but it seems to have held off now as the ball fouled back for strike 1. It seems to be that rains are holding off, but there are a lot of clouds in the sky. We'll see how things develop here this evening. Just game 1 of 2. Check swing on a 1-1 delivery, and Roberts will take it for strike 2. Fletcher Coleman on the mound trying to protect the 1-0 lead that the Indians have given him. The lefty will wind and fire, and just off the corner, evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Today's game sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. 2-2, misses low and inside. A walk in the first inning by Coleman, the only free pass that he's given up so far. His 3-2 pitch misses, and there is another walk. He gives up his second. Walks, I wouldn't call it a major concern for Fletcher Coleman, but through 14 innings, he had given up 12. He's added 2 more to that, so 14 through 2 and a third innings. Well, actually, make that 14 walks through 16 and a third innings on the season. Like to keep it as far below 1 an inning as you can. He's about right on target for that. Pitches high on the first offering to the leadoff man, Gino Humphrey, up for a second time. Had a single in his first at-bat. Humphrey stands back in with one out and a man on. Ground ball towards third. Off the end of the glove for A.J. Black. Paxton Burke will get to it behind him, but Burke did not have a play as the ball slowed down. Good attempt there by A.J. Black. He laid out to it, glove side on his left, and it was just off the end of the webbing. And then it sneaks its way back to Paxton Burke at shortstop. That'll be another hit in this game for Gino Humphrey. Gets his second, third hit in the game for the Axe. Jonah Alexander, the pitcher, swings through to start out his at-bat. Second time up against Fletcher Coleman. Fouls one away. Falling behind 0-2 is Jonah Alexander. Alexander walked in his first at-bat, ended up stranded at second. The lefty Coleman will kick and fire. That ball belted in the air out towards right center, and it's going to carry. Corba's chasing it all the way to the wall. This will give South Eugene the lead. Alexander heading for third. The throw to third base. See, they've got it there in time. Tag applied by Black. So it'll be a double for Jonah Alexander to drive in two and give South Eugene their first lead in the series. It's 2 down now as Alexander tried to stretch it into a triple. And he was close, but a good relay throw coming in. And the Indians were able to get him at third base. 2 down, nobody on base. 2 runs come in. South Eugene leading it 2-1. Pitch in the dirt, ball 1 to Burke Sherman, the 3-hitter. That ball found the alley, and once it got down, it took off. And Christian Corba, with his speed, couldn't get there in time. That ball hit the right field. It'll drop down in front of Rylan Glasser. And there's a 2-out single for Sherman. Third straight hit for the Axe here in the third inning. They've got 5 hits total in the ball game. A man at first base once again.
Next batter, number 12, Mike Grilly.
2 down, Mike Grilly will bat. He takes ball 1. Scoring on the double by Jonah Alexander was Bryce Roberts and Gino Humphrey. Swing and a miss. Grilly, 1-1 count. Roberts reaching on a walk, and then Gino Humphrey on a single on the infield, and they come around to score on the double that found the alley in right center. 1-1 from Coleman. Misses inside, goes by, and it hit him. I thought it got away from Bowers, but only got away because it hits the batter. Grilly will get on with the hit by pitch. Runners at first and second with 2 away. First hit batter for Fletcher Coleman in the contest. Coleman on the season, that's the first time he has hit a batter. First pitch fouled back. Strike 1. To Liam Donlin, who had a line drive single to lead things off in the second inning. South Eugene brought the bats here today. They've been swinging away at Fletcher Coleman and connecting. They've got 5 hits total. The 0-1 from Coleman. Hit hard right side. It gets by into right field. Glasser up with it. He is going to throw in quickly. They'll hold the lead runner at third. Sherman put on the brakes. The bases will be loaded as Donlin with his second hit in the game. Pokes one opposite field with a runner out at second. Mason Young was playing more up the middle, and so that left a gap on the right side of the infield. And Donlin pokes it right through. Another hit, 6 hits total in the ballgame for South Eugene. They've got the bases loaded with 2 down. Strike on the first pitch to Bowie Grams, who struck out looking. Grams was the first in a string of 3 straight strikeouts looking for Fletcher Coleman. Takes just off the corner. The count goes to 1-1. So South Eugene They rally back, take a 2-1 lead here in the third inning. They're threatening for more. They 1-1. Gets by Bowers to the backstop, and a run will come in to score. The throw now gets away. It'll go towards Wirtz at first base. The runners will not try to push their luck and take anything more. Ball gets by the catcher, and a run will score. First base unoccupied. 3-1. A 2-1 pitch coming up for Grams with 2 runners in scoring position. He hits one right field. That ball foul down the right field line. Boy, off the bat, that looked like a lot of trouble down the right field line. Count goes to 2-2. Grams at the plate. Trying to keep things going here in the top of the third. His team has built a 3-1 lead on top of Roseburg here at Champion Car Wash Field. The 2-2. Coleman's pitch bounces in. Nice job this time by Bowers to make sure it does not get by. Roseburg won by 16 on Tuesday against South Eugene. So maybe you came into this one thinking another big win in store, but South Eugene had other things in mind. A ball goes by, and the runner moving from third, tag at the plate, out. Out at home. It would seem like a late break by Mike Grilly at third base as the ball got by on what was ball 4. And they get an accurate throw to the plate. There to make the tag was Fletcher Coleman, and that is how we will wrap things up here in the top of the third. So we will go to the bottom of the third. It's 3-1, South Eugene in front of Roseburg here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Bottom of the third inning. Today's game brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Call 541-378-6694. It's a 3-1 lead for South Eugene. Rylan Glasser will have his first at-bat of the day, facing Jonah Alexander, who gets a strike across. Alexander now with a nice lead to work with, a 2-run cushion to try and protect. The 0-1 pitch, showing a bunt, pulling it back as the pitch comes in high. 1-1 count for Glasser. Rylan Glasser in the 9 spot, the lefty for Rylan. This is his 5th game of the season. The 1-1 pitch from Alexander. Swung on and missed. Might have been fouled off at the plate for strike 2. Well, you've got Umpqua Community College baseball in action today as well. They're at Chemeketa for a doubleheader as they moved up their games from the weekend to try and avoid any weather issues. Big doubleheader there for the Riverhawks. And they fall in game 1 in 12 innings, 4-3. 2-2 pitch going opposite field for Glasser. That could be no man land out there. Ooh, a nasty collision as the shortstop makes the catch and then takes out Eli Bishko in left field. And you've got Coach Brian Derringer sprinting out to left field to make sure that his player is okay. Liam Donlin left the ground to make the catch and kind of went just soaring right into Eli Bishko and took him out. Bishko still on the ground. You've got Lindsay headed out there, the athletic trainer for Roseburg. I think she's got someone that she's training in. Lindsay is possibly looking at maternity leave at some point here soon. I know she's pregnant and will be, I'm not sure exactly when her due date is, but she might be training in somebody in to fill in for her when she's out. But they're out there checking on Eli Bishko at the moment as Liam Donlin makes the catch for the first out. One away in the bottom of the third. Well, we've got a break in the action. Let you know that today's game brought to you by First Choice Health Insurance, your trusted team for all of your insurance needs. Bishko taking a moment out there as they make sure that he is okay, which is what you want. So the Umpqua Riverhawks, they lose game 1 4-3 in extra innings against Chemeketa. That is the second consecutive extra inning loss for Umpqua against Chemeketa. They have game 2. They're underway in that one. Top of the first, still scoreless. The Riverhawks will need to win game 2 to force a 3-3 split in the 6-game series against Chemeketa this year. If not, that might be the first series loss that the Riverhawks would have in the league season if they cannot come back in that one. The Masters going on right now, and apparently Rory McIlroy gets a historic run on the second 9 at Augusta, and he's looking to repeat as the Masters champion, and he is going into the clubhouse after 2 days at 12 under with a 6-stroke lead. He finishes the second 9 birdie, 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 birdie. I think that was 4 straight. That's impressive. So Rory in control at the Masters. That's just wrapping up day 2 there. As Bishko is back to his feet, but they're still checking on him out there. Do have an arm starting to throw in the bullpen for Roseburg. On the mound, Jonah Alexander getting some warm-up pitches, just trying to stay loose as we wait for things to wrap up out in left field. Bishko getting some evaluation as he runs around. They look to make sure he's all right out there. In the Southwest Conference, Roseburg, Willamette, and North Medford, all the teams that are undefeated in Southwest Conference play so far. Roseburg at 4-0, Willamette at 3-0, North Medford 1-0. Today you've got North Medford at Grants Pass for a doubleheader. We'll try to see if we can get any scores on that one for you, as it seems as if Eli Bishko will be okay out in left field. Dangerous play there with the shortstop going out and the left fielder coming in. South Medford, they had their first loss in league play earlier this week. They're 3-1. Sheldon got the win in that one. They're 1-3. Then Grants Pass 0-4. South Eugene 0-4. That's how the league standings sit right now. Paxton Burke swinging away on the first pitch for him. 1 out, nobody aboard. Second time through the order for the Indians. Roseburg's got Glasser out there getting some warm-up pitches in. The 0-1, swing and a miss by Burke for strike 2. Burke with a single to left field his first time up. Stole second, stole third, tried to come home on a pitch that got by at the plate and ended up getting tagged out at home. An 0-2 pitch coming up here for Alexander. And Burke fouls it off to stay alive. So North Medford and Grants Pass meeting today. Didn't look back to see, but Sheldon and Sprague did play yesterday. Ground ball chopper towards first base, running to the bag, and getting there in time will be Mike Grilly for the second out. He had to race to get there and is able to win the foot race against Paxton Burke. Not a lot of people can say that usually. 2 away. I mean, it doesn't feel like that should have been that close, but that's a testament to how quick Paxton Burke is down that line to first base. Amos Bowers batting. He had a single down the right field side his first time. He takes a strike. with 2 down and nobody on. Roseburg trailing 3-1. We're here in the bottom of the third. 3 runs in the top of the third has given South Eugene the early lead. A swing and a miss on a slow breaking ball. Bowers well out in front of it, and he finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Alexander out of his windup. He'll go to the fastball. It is trickled down the third base side foul. He had the slow-moving curve, tried to come back with the fastball to see if he could get it by Amos Bowers. Bowers able to get a piece of it. Swing and a miss on the 0-2. Bowers once again on a breaking ball, gets out on the front foot, cannot hold up. A strikeout to finish off the third inning for Jonah Alexander. He has ended every inning with a strikeout so far. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. A 1-2-3 bottom of the third for the South Eugene defense. We will head to the top of the fourth inning. Roseburg trails 3-1 against South Eugene here on 541radio.com and on the Score 92.3 FM and 14.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
We go to the top of the fourth inning. South Eugene leading 3-1 against Roseburg. Fletcher Coleman will stay on the bump for the time being. He fires his first pitch low and inside for ball 1. Eli Bishko, who got trucked out in left field by his shortstop, Liam Donlin. He leads things off for the Axe here in the fourth inning. Seems to be all right and stays in the game. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Bishko, a strikeout in the second inning against Coleman, his first time up. The 1-1 pitch is lifted foul, right side, long run. Rylan Glasser almost did get there, but it ends up foul and then bouncing out of the stadium for strike 2. Sun still kind of radiating through the clouds, some blue sky off in the distance, but a lot of clouds overhead, and we're fighting Mother Nature here today, trying to get things done before any rain starts to appear. It's a swing and a miss, strike 3, second strikeout in the game for Eli Bishko. That is the 5th punch-out in the game for Fletcher Coleman. He's had one in every inning at least, and he starts off an inning with a strikeout for a second consecutive frame. He's trying to settle back in after giving up 3 runs on 4 hits in the third. Rifles in a swing and a miss to Zane Brown. The 8-hitter in the lineup. Brown, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses a bit high. He lays off. Today's game brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by and check them out on West Harvard Avenue. Fouled back to the backstop. Strike 2 for Zane Brown, the third baseman. Game 1 of a twin bill here for us at Champion Car Wash Field. Feels kind of weird to be doing it on a Friday for some reason. I guess a doubleheader in the evening, afternoon, and then into the evening. It's just not normally how it goes. Normally it's a doubleheader starting at noon on a Saturday. 2-2 pitch, a line drive towards short, but able to track it down in the outfield grass is Paxton Burke for the second out. Off the bat, looked like it had a chance, but it was not hit overly hard. And Burke, with his speed, got a good read on it, gets out into the outfield, and tracks down the ball. High for ball 1 to the 9-hitter, Bryce Roberts. Roberts drew a walk in the third inning. That was the start of the big inning for South Eugene. He got on base, eventually came around to score on a double by Jonah Alexander. He takes a strike at the top of the zone. A 1-1 pitch for Fletcher Coleman. The junior lefty delivers out of the windup, gets a swing and a miss, twisted up the batter with his breaking ball. The 1-2 pitch is high. They have already completed game one over at the softball complex. They did get started a little earlier. They didn't have a game going on before them to wait on, as there's strike three. And that is a 1-2-3 frame for Fletcher Coleman. A good response after giving up the lead in the third. He comes back and gets through the fourth without any damage. 3 up, 3 down. Softball game final. It was 15-0 in 4 innings. Roseburg gets the win. Right now, the Roseburg baseball team trailing 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth on 541radio.com and on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
We're through 3.5 innings here at Champion Car Wash Field. Game one of a doubleheader between Roseburg and South Eugene in the Southwest Conference. Leading things off for the Indians will be Fletcher Coleman, the pitcher, followed by Danner Wirtz and A.J. Black. Today's game brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You gotta get to Gibbs. Jonah Alexander on the mound in for his fourth inning of work. He gets a strike on the inside corner, just above the knees to Coleman. The right-hander will wind and fire. Coleman lifts one right side. Low line drive shot will hit, and that will roll. It's going to go all the way to the fence, and Coleman will be able to get around second. And it gets by the right fielder. He had to track it down a little bit more, and it's a leadoff triple for Fletcher Coleman. Coleman gets all the way around to third on a ball that he just laces to the alley and right center, and that will put the Indians in position to try and cut into a 3-run deficit. They are, a 2-run deficit. They're trailing 3-1 as we start things here in the fourth. Danner Wirtz will come up to bat. He had 2 triples against South Eugene back on Tuesday. They'll bring in a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Coleman. He doesn't necessarily need it, but after running all the way around, might as well give him a break. And Wirtz will pound one high into the air out towards deep center field, tracking this one back and making the over-the-shoulder catch is Humphrey. That'll easily score. The courtesy runner coming in to run for Roseburg. That is Dylan Gregory, who comes in to score as the courtesy runner on the sac fly by Wirtz. And boy, did he put a charge into that one. I think everybody in the building thought it had a chance to maybe get to the wall in dead center field. So the Indians will add one on the board with the sac fly. 1 out, nobody aboard. And taking outside for ball 1 is A.J. Black. Fletcher Coleman with the leadoff triple, and they make it work. They get back within 1. Ball outside by Alexander. The count goes to 2-0 for A.J. Black, who is 0 for 1 in the game, a ground out to third. Alexander's 2-0 pitch. Tried to hold up, but he saw a pitch up around the eyes that he liked, and A.J. chases after it. The 2-1. A.J. puts this one in play, but it will quickly get out of play down the right field side for strike 2. Nobody aboard, 1 out after 1 run in so far in the 4th inning for Roseburg. Ball hit left side, takes a slow time to get to third, throw across the diamond, off line and out of the glove for Grilly at first. A.J. Black gets on safely at first base. The throw was off the line. It pulled Grilly off the bag. He tried to swipe the tag, and the ball came out. He might have had a chance to get the tag on, but it came out as he went to swipe at A.J. And so Black is on safely. First pitch low and outside. Throw down to first base. First baseman not on the bag. Still just 1 out. That'll be an error to get Black on base. A 1-0 delivery here to Christian Corba is off the turf again, a 2-0 count. Corba had a bounding single to right field, a ball that hops it like 8 to 10 feet all the way into right field. And the ball goes all the way to the backstop in the air. Miscommunication between Alexander and Sherman. Sherman must not have been expecting that pitch to come inside. He couldn't get the glove on it. It goes all the way to the backstop, and easily up to second base goes A.J. Black on the wild pitch. Christian Corba, meanwhile, at the plate with a 3-0 count. 1 out, game-tying run in scoring position. He'll take the 3-1 at the belt buckle for a strike. 3-1 delivery, going for third, and fouled away at the plate by Corba. A.J. was looking to steal third. Corba was trying to get the hit and run on, and he got a piece of it, just could not square it up. Grants Pass appears to be leading, North Medford appears to be leading Grants Pass in that matchup going on at Grants Pass High School. 3-2 pitch, and a look back to second base by Alexander, no throw. They're in the top of the third with North Medford leading in game 1 of that doubleheader against Grants Pass. Low and outside, ball 4 issued to Corba, who will toss away the bat. That is the first walk of the game for Jonah Alexander, and it's going to prompt a visit out to the mound for South Eugene. Today's game sponsored by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. 2-0 lead for North Medford. They would like to go to 2-0 in league play. And Grants Pass scraping, trying to see if they can get their first win in league play. So that's the only other doubleheader going on in the Southwest Conference today. You've got that one going on. You've got ours going on right now as well. And it is a 3-2 lead for South Eugene. I might be mistaken. That might be game 2 of their doubleheader. They were supposed to start at 1. Actually, there we go. Grants Pass did get a win in game 1. So game 1, it was GP 4-3 over North Medford. That works out for Roseburg. It's always good to see other teams kind of beating up on each other. Grants Pass gets their first win. North Medford takes its first loss in league play. Back to action here after the mound visit. A breaking ball by Alexander outside to Nick Ruiz, who grounded back to the mound in the second inning. Game-tying run is out at second base for Roseburg, trailing 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. There's just 1 out, and Nick Ruiz trying to at least move the runners up a base, if not drive in the game-tying run. He fouls off the 1-0 pitch. Scheduled to play tomorrow, South Medford at Sheldon for a doubleheader. Up in Eugene, the indications seem to be that it's going to be wet, so we'll see if they get it in. But that is their plan, at least according to what I saw online. Look back to second base by Alexander, but no throw. Jonah Alexander on the mound. Gave up a run in the first. The last 2 innings have been pretty sharp for him, but he's scraping here in the 4th inning. He misses. The count goes 2-1 for Ruiz. Here in the 4th inning, he's given up a triple. A sac fly drove in a run. An error got a runner on base, and now a walk to put 2 runners on base. Another pitch outside the zone, low and outside, a 3-1 count. Well, Sprague, who is a upcoming opponent for Roseburg, Sprague yesterday beat Sheldon 10-4. Three-one pitch, inside, ball 4. And Alexander has walked back-to-back batters, and it loads up the bases. Roseburg a chance to try and retake the lead here in the 4th. With just 1 out, it'll be Mason Young. Young struck out swinging to finish things in the 2nd. It's outside on the first pitch from Alexander. No activity currently in the bullpen for South Eugene, so either if they were to make a pitching change, that guy is out there defensively, or they're sticking with Alexander at the moment. The 1-0. Line drive shot, caught by the second baseman, will not have a chance to try and double anybody up. Nice job by Grams getting to that ball, sharply hit by Mason Young. It looked like it had a chance to try and bring in the game-tying run, but a great play out at second base to rob one away for the 2nd out. Just got there in front of that one. First pitch, a strike to the 9-hitter Rylan Glasser. Unlucky there for Mason Young. He put a little pepper on that one, just couldn't sneak it through. Glasser will take strike 2 on the inside corner from the righty to the lefty. Bases are loaded now with 2 away. The Indians trying not to let the moment get by. Glasser hits a soft liner towards the shortstop. Up with it is Donlin. His throw to first is late, and the run will score to tie us up at 3. Donlin's pitch or throw across the diamond just late, and it one hopped over to first base, and so Glasser will pick up an RBI on an infield single. And it brings up Paxton Burke. It did score A.J. Black to tie the game up. Burke, first pitch, swinging away, pops it up on the infield. It's going towards the third baseman, Brown, and he can't make the play. And it's a foul ball. I was wondering if it touched his glove at all. If it touched his glove while he tried to make the play, it would have been a fair ball, but they ruled that it didn't touch any of the leather, and the ball didn't get picked up then until it was in foul territory. So Paxton Burke, it almost looked as if he was going to commit the last out. Then it almost looked as if Roseburg was going to get a big break, and now Paxton Burke will at least be back at the plate with an opportunity to make some amends. I believe that was strike 1 on the foul ball, so an 0-1 count for him. Burke is 1 for 2 on the day. He'll take high and away, a 1-1 count. At third base is Corba, Nick Ruiz at second, Rylan Glasser at first. And now the umpires are trying to get together on the count here. I would have guessed it was 1-1 because the first pitch, I'm pretty sure, was the foul ball, and then the next pitch. So I think we've gotten squared away. And Austin Stone, the umpire in the field, he's signaling 1-1. You've got Austin Stone out there, Garrett Satfield at first, Dan Balkmeyer behind the plate today. 1-1 delivery coming up for Burke. Alexander gets him to pop it up again on the infield. It's going to be the shortstop, Donlin, and he will make the catch. And that'll get things over with here in the 4th for South Eugene. 8 hitters come to the plate for the Indians, and they put 2 on the board to tie us up as we head to the 5th inning. 3-3 our score, And we'll be back after a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490. Back at Champion Car Wash Field, we are knotted up once again. It's a 3-3 ball game here as we begin the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up for South Eugene. Fletcher Coleman continues to work for the Indians, and he pumps in strike one on the outside corner to Gino Humphrey, who is 2 for 2 in the game with a pair of singles and a run scored. The 0-1 delivery to Humphrey. Line drive shot to center field will get in, and he is 3 for 3 on the day. Humphrey had been 1 for 2 in the first meeting against these two clubs. He's having a good day at the plate, going 3 for 3. Leadoff man aboard on the 7th hit of the game for South Eugene. Jonah Alexander, the pitcher, is 1 for 1 in the game with a 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. Also drew a walk. So Alexander steps in with a man at first. He'll take low for ball 1. Top of the order's done a lot of damage. 3 hits for Humphrey, 1 hit for Alexander, 1 hit for Sherman. Top 3 of the order there, producing 5 hits of the 7 in the game as a throw down to first. Nice pick at the bag by Danner Wirtz. On the back pick attempt there by Amos Bowers. Got some college baseball going on at the D1 level with the Ducks and the Beavers tonight. We'll try to check their scoreboards. 2-0 pitch. In for a strike. Tonight's game brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza, the way it ought to be. 2-1 from Coleman, just off the outside corner. Kind of looking a little more stormy out there in some areas. Can't see what the weather is coming at us. As that ball is in the air, hard hit out towards deep left field. Tracking it down, Nick Ruiz is there for the grab. Long way to run on a high, deep fly ball to left, and he gets there in time. Great play by the left fielder for the Indians, 1 away. That ball in many other ballparks might have been out of here, but it is a long fly ball out for Jonah Alexander. And I'm not sure what just happened. Roseburg went running off the field. That was only the first out, so it's not like you could have had a random double play. But did they double off Gino Humphrey at first base? Austin Stone out there making a call. I almost thought for a minute that maybe that somebody had seen a lightning strike and they were clearing everybody off the field, but apparently they double off Humphrey at first base. Going to have to double check, go back on the YouTube stream here and see if I can figure that out. Outside, ball 1. So there's 2 outs and nobody on base. After apparently they get the double play. And I guess it's big because coming up to bat, Burke Sherman hits one to the alley out right field. But a nice job by Glasser to get there and cut it off, get it back in, and hold it to just a single for Sherman, who has his second hit in the ball game. 2 outs, a man back at first base for South Eugene. And Fletcher Coleman will face the 4-hitter Mike Grilly. First pitch misses, ball 1. To Grilly, who is 0 for 1 in the game, was hit by a pitch and has a line out. He'll pop one up. Calling for it on the mound, not usually the way you want it, but Fletcher Coleman, who is an outfielder when he's not pitching, makes the catch on the hill. And that will be the final out of the top half of the 5th. No runs. There were 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 man left aboard. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Well, finally had a moment to go back and kind of rewatch how things played out on that double play there. They end up, my guess is that they say that he didn't touch second base, that he got to second base on the ball that was hit to deep left field, that Gino Humphrey touched second going around towards third. The ball was caught. He had to tag up back at first, and that they said he didn't touch second on his way back to first base, and that's how they were able to, I guess, double him off at first base. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors in that 5th inning. And the game remains tied at 3 as we start the bottom of the 5th. And the first pitch from Jonah Alexander is going to plunk Amos Bowers, who will hustle down to first base to get things started here in the 5th inning. Today's game brought to you by Roseburg Country Club, established in 1922, offering an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. Find out more at roseburgcountryclub.com. So leadoff man on base, heading down to first to run for Roseburg. That is Riley Cheney. That'll get a chance to get into the game as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Alexander to Fletcher Coleman. He squares to bunt, fouls it off. It'll be strike 1 to Fletcher Coleman. The 0-1 pitch from Alexander. Breaking ball misses outside, a 1-1. So taking a look at the college scoreboard, it's a top 25 showdown in Eugene. Number 21, Oregon. Number 19, Nebraska. They're tied at 2 in the top of the 5th there. A homer just tying it up for Nebraska. In that one, a solo shot. Pickoff throw to first base. He is a bit behind. You can tell by the camera. Down for Coleman, and gets by a bit by Bishko out in left field. Heading for third base will go Cheney. He'll get in with the head-first slide. Into second base goes Coleman, and the Indians have the go-ahead runner at third base. Base knock there by Fletcher Coleman, his second in the game. And they'll bring in Gregory to run for him again out at second.
Running at second base will be Dylan Gregory. Batter number 20, Dan Alert.
They may end up giving him a double on that one. It looked like a bit of a bobble out in left field that allowed the extra base for Coleman, so I'm going to say it was a single and an error. But Roseburg may put it down as a double in their scorebook, so I might end up changing that. Tanner Wirtz at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly his last time up. That got Roseburg a run to make it a one-run ball game at the time. He's got a chance to hit a sac fly and try to see if he can give Roseburg the lead back. The 0-1 pitch after a swing and a miss. It's outside from Alexander. They play with the infield in with runners at second and third and nobody out. Bowers got on with a hit by pitch. Riley Cheney came in to run for him. Fletcher Coleman gets on with a single, and they've got Gregory running for him out at second. Breaking ball in for a strike to Wirtz, who's got a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch from Alexander. It's a dribbler towards short. Picked up. They're going to go to first, and the first baseman wasn't looking for it. And 2 runs will score on the error. And Wirtz is on at first base. And the Indians will put 2 on the board to make it 5-3 on the error. The shortstop, Donlin, the ball went to him. Roseburg, everybody broke. Coming to the plate was Cheney. And I think everybody on the infield was assuming that Donlin was going to throw it to the plate. That includes Mike Grilly at first base, who almost got drilled in the head by that ball because he wasn't looking for it. And that ball goes to the backstop for Alexander, and that will put Wirtz up at second. So Danner's going to get credit at least for 1 RBI on that one. Now he moves to second base on the wild pitch. And we've got a visit out to the mound for the South Eugene coaching staff. So an error by the shortstop, Liam Donlin. Helped bring in the second run on that one. So we're going to credit Wirtz with his grounder to short. Credit him with driving in the go-ahead run to make it 4-3. But then the throwing error to first brings in a second run to make it 5-3 and allows Wirtz to get on base. He ends up at second base now on a wild pitch. A 1-0 count to A.J. Black, who reached on an error in the 4th inning. I've got it down as 5 errors now in this ballgame for South Eugene. The 1-0 pitch is going to hit A.J. Black on the backside. And on the mound, Jonah Alexander seems to be fatiguing a bit. That is 2 pitches that got away from him. One went to the backstop. The other one plunks the batter in the backside. First and second for the Indians. Christian Corba coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th in game 1 of a doubleheader. Corba will slap at the first pitch, and he goes opposite field, pokes it between first and second. They've got Danner Wirtz heading to the plate. The throw, it's dropped at the plate. And in safely as Wirtz. Everybody else moving up behind him. Runners at second and third as Roseburg leads at 6-3. So an RBI single for Christian Corba, who moves to second on the throw. And now we're getting a pitching change here in the 5th inning for South Eugene. Danner Wirtz scores from second. He was going to be safe, but then the ball was dropped by Sherman anyways. He comes in to score. A.J. Black goes first to third. Christian Corba ends up at second on the throw to the plate. We get a pitching change for the South Eugene Axe. Roseburg has rallied back to lead it 6-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, bottom of the fifth, we get a pitching change. The new arm on the mound for South Eugene. That is going to be Kingsley Aldrich, who will take over. Aldrich relieves Jonah Alexander. And so the right-hander will inherit runners at second and third with nobody out here in the fifth. It's been a hit by pitch, a single, an error, hit by pitch, a single, and the Indians have put 3 runs on the board here in this fifth inning. Up to bat for Roseburg will be Nick Ruiz. He'll be the first man up against the new pitcher. Aldrich.
Batters number 13, Nick Ruiz.
Will face Ruiz with A.J. Black at third and Christian Corba at second. Again, nobody out right now in the fifth inning. They play with the infield in with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Aldrich. Nick Ruiz, the 0-1, swings through another one for strike 2. Kingsley Aldrich, a senior. Takes over. Alexander goes 4 innings in this one, doesn't record an out in the fifth. The 0-2 pitch, and it's popped in the air out towards right field. That one might fall. Long run. Catch made on the run by Humphrey. Just to get to it was impressive. Catch made. A run will score. And the Indians might have had a chance at 2 as they're a little slow getting the ball back in. 1 run will score. It'll be a sac fly for Ruiz. That ball headed towards the alley, and it was a long run for Humphrey, but he gets there just in the nick of time. Roseburg adds another run to make it 7-3. 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch swinging, handcuffed, but muscles one into center field. A line drive shot for Mason Young, and he picks up the RBI on a single to center with the infield drawn in. He's able to work it right back up the middle. That'll score Corba, and the Indians will add another run on here in the fifth. They're on top 8-3. And a man at first with 1 out. Rylan Glasser will bat. He's the 8th hitter to the plate here in the fifth inning. With 1 out, first pitch he takes for a strike. Five runs have come in here in the fifth inning after Roseburg tied it in the fourth. They've retaken the lead. They were up 1-0 after the first inning, but South Eugene scored 3 in the third to take the lead. A pitch inside goes off the ankle for Glasser. He's hit by a pitch, and he'll get on. There's runners at first and second. It'll bring us to the top of the order for Paxton Burke with 1 out and 2 on.
Top of the order now for Roseburg, number 7, Paxton Burke.
That is the third hit batter in the ball game for the South Eugene pitchers. All 3 of them have come here in the fifth inning. 9th hitter to the plate, Paxton Burke takes a breaking ball high and away for ball 1. The Indians, 3 hits here in this fifth inning. They've got 8 total as a pitch missing low and outside. Couple of errors, couple of hit batters, no walks here in the 5th inning for South Eugene's pitchers. High and away, 3-0 count, and we might see our first walk here. Paxton Burke waiting on the 3-0 delivery. Likely going to be watching this one. Kingsley Aldrich. Delivers and bounces it in. It'll get away for ball 4. A walk loads him up as Sherman will go and get the ball quickly. Bases are loaded and Amos Bowers will bat for a second time in the contest.
Next batter is number 11, Amos Bowers.
So the book is closed on Jonah Aldrich, who is now at first base defensively. We'll try to put his numbers together here. First pitch is a strike to Bowers, who led off this inning getting hit by a pitch. And eventually, the courtesy runner, Riley Cheney, eventually came around to score for Bowers, giving Roseburg the lead. 0-1 pitch from Aldrich, high for a 1-1 count. One delivery. And Bowers lays off an enticing pitch at the top, just above the zone. It's a 2-1 count, and it's outside to Bowers. A walk will bring in a run. So the final line for Jonah Alexander, 4 innings. He gives up 7 hits, 8 runs. They're not all earned runs. He definitely didn't have the defense helping him all the time behind him. He ends up with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Line drive to left field on the 3-1 offering. Bowers deposits it out into shallow left field. A base hit, drives in a run. Roseburg goes station to station. Coming in to score was Mason Young from third. Up to second goes Glasser. Paxton Burke goes to second. Amos Bowers on at first. We'll get a courtesy runner. Cheney will come in for him again. The courtesy runner for the catcher. The base is loaded, and we get another mound visit here. Roseburg adds 1 more here in the 5th. They lead it 9-3. That'll be the first run given up by Aldrich. And it doesn't look like a pitching change, more just a conversation on the mound. For Amos Bowers, that's his second hit in the game. He is 2 for 3. So I told you some college baseball going on. It was a 2-2 ball game, but in the bottom of the 5th, after Nebraska tied it in the top half of the 5th, the Oregon Ducks have regained the lead in a top 25 showdown. They are trying to get back on track. The Ducks have been scrapping as of late. They've lost 4 out of 5, and their losses against teams that a top 25 team does not think they should lose to. They're taking on number 19 Nebraska. They lead it 4-2 as they score twice in the bottom of the 4th or bottom of the 5th to capture the lead there. First pitch, high and away, ball 1 to Fletcher Coleman. Coleman in the game is 2 for 3 with a triple and a single. Coleman, the 1-0 pitch from Aldrich. Grounds one past the third baseman into left field, down the line. 1 run scores. Burke is coming around to score. Heading all the way to third is Cheney. The ball gets away on the infield, and Aldrich will back it up. It's a double for Fletcher Coleman, and he drives in 2 more for the Indians. Coleman with his first RBIs of the game. He has now had a single, a triple, and a double. Cheney gets all the way to third. From first, scoring from second was Burke. Scoring from third easily was Glasser. Roseburg puts 2 more on the board. It is 11-3. And still just 1 out. First pitch misses. Ball 1 to Danner Wirtz, who is batting for a second time in the 5th. Roseburg has scored 8 runs. The only man that didn't come around to score, it was Nick Ruiz, who had a sac fly to drive in a run as a strike taken by Wirtz. So Wirtz is the 12th batter to come up to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position for him with 1 out. A 1-1 pitch from Aldrich. It's outside. We are hoping to have a second game here tonight, and thankfully the weather has really been more cooperative today than it was anticipated. Kept calling for rain throughout this afternoon and evening, but we have not really seen any. A 2-1 pitch goes by the catcher. Coming in to score will be Cheney from third on the wild pitch. Fletcher Coleman will move up to third. I'm actually going to put that down as a pass ball, as it did go off the leather. Didn't really bounce past the catcher. So another run comes in. It's a 3-1 count for Danner Wirtz with a man at third. Delivery by Aldrich, outside for ball 4. A walk for Danner Wirtz, puts runners on the corners. Second walk in the game for Aldrich in relief. Up to bat will be A.J. Black. Roseburg leading it 12-3. We're in the bottom of the 5th, so if Roseburg can put one more run on the scoreboard, they can end it here. They've scored 9 here in the 5th inning. A 10th would make it a 10-run game and give the Indians the victory once again in 5 innings. A swing and a miss by A.J. Black. And after the 0-1 pitch, out on the mound, Aldrich seems like he might be in a little bit of discomfort, and he might be coming out of this game. Not sure. Something happened to him there. His arm is, and watch it back on the YouTube feed here. We're rewound it a couple of seconds. He throws, and afterwards, he just lets his right arm hang, and he is in some pain, and he seems to be, I think, a little bit obviously upset. Nobody wants to get injured, but it seemed like it was a bit traumatic for him there. He had his catcher putting his arm around him for a minute. He heads to the dugout. Hopefully, maybe just a tweak and nothing too significant, but he goes to the dugout, and we're going to have a quick pitching change made here. So in the middle of the at-bat for A.J. Black, we'll have a new man on the mound as Kingsley Aldrich. Seems like an injury knocks him out of the game, and they will put a new man on the mound for South Eugene. We'll get you some information on him when we come back. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, where Roseburg's leading it 12-3, trying to wrap up a victory with one more run. They could secure a 10-run rule victory and end this one early. The first pitch from the new man on the mound, it is Zane Brown who has taken over. He misses low and inside to A.J. Black for ball 1. A 1-1 count. Zane Brown takes over for Kinsley Aldridge. And a ball left side goes off the glove for the shortstop. He's not able to get up to make a throw anywhere. Diving attempt by Donlin. It goes in and out of the glove, maybe right off the end of the webbing. And he can't make the catch on a line drive to short. A.J. Black will get on safely with the single. He had to leave his feet to try and make a play, but could not keep it in the glove. First pitch, a strike now to Christian Corba, who's looking to try and come up with the game ender here. Ball gets away from Sherman. Roseburg decides not to try and push the issue as Sherman gets to it and sends it to the plate. Ground ball towards short. The throw to the plate for the force out. They will get there. Trying to score from third was Dylan Gregory, and he is forced out at the plate on the throw by the shortstop. There's two away. Bases will remain loaded on the fielder's choice for Christian Corba.
That was number 13, Nick Ruiz.
So Tanner Wirtz now at third would be the game-ending run. First pitch misses low for ball one to Nick Ruiz. Ruiz will hit a soft liner to third, able to keep it in the glove. The third baseman, that'll be a new one, as Brown went from third to the mound. So the Axe will get out of it, and they will force it into the sixth inning here in game one of our doubleheader. Roseburg puts 9 runs on the board. They lead it by a score of 12-3 as we head to the top of the sixth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Fletcher Coleman has a chance to try and finish this one out for the Roseburg Indians here tonight. The 1-0. He'll miss outside, a 2-0 count as he faces off against Liam Donlin, the shortstop. Roseburg leading at 12-3. They needed just one more run to end it early there in the fifth inning. Couldn't get it, but they are on top and looking to try and stay there here in the sixth inning. A pitch misses, a 3-0 count out on the mound. Fletcher Coleman trying to loosen up his shoulder. It's been a while since he was out there pitching, and he misses 4 straight pitches. A walk to lead things off to Donlin, who was 2 for 2 coming into the at-bat. The Bats haven't been failing South Eugene necessarily today. They've racked up 8 hits in this one.
That was number 10, Bowie Graham.
But the defense has definitely put them in a tough spot. First pitch. That ball down the line and foul. Well struck there by Bowie Grams, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Got around on a pitch from Coleman, but he puts it foul. Oh, 0-1 pitch for Coleman. Ground ball, high chopper right side. Mason Young can't field it cleanly. It was another one of those high bounding balls to the right side, much like what Christian Corba did earlier in the game. And because he played it back, Mason Young had to wait for it to come down from the second hop there. And on that one, Young tried to get up there and grab it and then quickly get it out of the glove, and it popped out of his glove, and he did not get a chance to make a play on it. We're going to have Coach Tim Sestair make his way out to the mound. I'm now thinking, I don't know if I saw the usual pitching coach, Steve Patterson, in the dugout earlier today. He might not be with the team tonight. JV coach Justin O'Byrne down there, along with Coach Troy Thompson, the head coach for the Roseburg Indians in his 24th season. And then Coach Tim Sestair, who's been there with Coach Thompson through a lot of those seasons. Coach Sestair filling in as the pitcher's coach. That visit out to the mound. So after the mound visit, Bowie Graham's on at first after the error. And we get a new batter here instead of Eli Bishko. And that first pitch taken for a strike. Oh, 1 delivery is outside. 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Matt Moreno. Low and outside, 2-1. Moreno filling in for Bishko, who was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. 2-1 pitch is outside, a 3-1 count. Fletcher Coleman will walk the bases loaded. Nobody out. And South Eugene has a runner on every base. Donlin goes to third. Grams is out at second after reaching on the error. And they will bring in a runner for Moreno at first, I think. Running at first is going to be Desmond Asunsolo. Runners on every bag on the infield after the walk. It'll be Zane Brown, who's now pitching for South Eugene. He swings at the first pitch he gets for strike 1. Swing and a miss by Brown again for strike 2. Brown is 0 for 2 in the game last time up. Lined out to short. Lights flickered in here in the booth. That could be dangerous. Ground ball towards third. And throwing to the plate, they'll get 1. Throw to first base, they'll get 2. A.J. Black makes a great throw, a crisp one to the plate to get 1 out there, and then the relay from Bowers to first baseman Danner Wirtz, and ruled out at first was Brown. That was bang, bang there at the bag, but out at first is the ruling. So a double play leaves runners at second and third with 2 outs. No runs come in for South Eugene. At the plate, Bryce Roberts, the 0-1 pitch outside. 1-1 count. That'll go down as a 5-2-3 double play for Brown. Strike called against Roberts. He's behind 1-2. So they cut down Donlin at the plate. I like the way that A.J. Black played that defensively as the ball fouled off. It was kind of a slow roller. He kind of took his set. He timed it up on his charge in, and he made sure that on the last hop before he fielded it, he got a lot of momentum taking him to the plate, and he was able to get a real strong throw to the plate that helped him turn the 2. He comes charging in, let it go foul, and he will. A.J. Black kind of got stuck in between on making a decision there. Off the mound, Fletcher Coleman also maybe had gone in there with intentions of trying to grab that ball, but they make the wise play to let it go foul because they were not really going to have a play on that one with Roberts. That ball slowly down the line. It was going to be tough to try and get it to a play at any bag on the infield. Runners at second and third. The throw in from Coleman, fouled back once again by Roberts. Stays with a 1-2 count. At third base is Grams. At second base, the runner. That is Asun Solo out there. Throw down to third base. They will get him out at third. The pickoff throw to third base by Amos Bowers will be the final out here in the sixth inning for South Eugene. Bowers rifled it down there. Black there for the catch and tag. A pickoff to finish things off. And that will end it here in the top of the sixth inning. Roseburg leading it 12-3. They keep South Eugene off the board with some defense. We go to the bottom of the sixth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The biggest pizza this side of the Rockies. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Made with the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. It's time to go big. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
We start things off here in the sixth inning with Mason Young at the plate. Zane Brown on the mound, bounces one in front of the dish for a 2-0 count. Roseburg leading this one 12-3. If they can get one across here in this sixth inning, they can end it and get us moving on to game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. Pitch inside, 3-0 count for Mason Young, who is 1 for 3, an RBI single in his last at-bat. 3-0 pitch from Brown. Hits the outside corner. Roseburg with 9 runs in the fifth inning. Gave him this big lead of 12-3. 3-1 from South Eugene. Mason fouls it away for strike 2. The full count pitch for Brown is fouled away down the right field side again. So we'll do it again on the full count pitch here to the leadoff man in the sixth inning for the Indians. Zane Brown taking over for Kinsley Aldrich, who went 2/3 of an inning. Ball 4 issued to Mason Young, missing low and outside. Ball 4, he gets on. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on the Score.
Batters number 3, Ryland Glasser.
First pitch swinging away for Ryland Glasser, the right fielder. Glasser is 1 for 2 today with an RBI single. Also was hit by a pitch and scored a run. He swings away again and is behind 0-2. First walk issued by Zane Brown after he relieved Aldrich in the fifth inning. Aldrich leaving with an arm injury, and he's on the bench grabbing his shoulder. A tapper up the middle. It gets by the pitcher, and the infield will not be able to make a play on it. Brown came off the mound, tried to get to it. Up the middle, Bowie Grams, the second baseman, was covering at the bag behind him, so he got a little out of position, thinking that maybe that Brown was going to get to that one, and he can't make the play on it. So it's an infield single for Rylan Glasser. Runners at first and second. Paxton Burke will stand in. First pitch misses, ball one. Mason Young representing the game-ending run out at second. Outside to Burke, 2-0 count. I was trying to get some of the numbers for Kinsley Aldrich in his short time on the mound. You can see him on a bucket over there, holding his right shoulder as a pitch bounces past the feet of Paxton Burke. Yeah, Aldrich has his right arm just kind of dangling as he holds on to it, sitting on the bucket over there. 3-0 pitch is outside, ball four. Burke will draw a walk. It's his second in the game. Loads him up with nobody out.
Next batter, number 11, Amos Bowers.
That is the sixth walk in the game for the Indians here today. Amos Bowers up to the plate. He'll take one behind the head for ball one. Bowers has a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3. He's gotten on base 3 out of 4 plate appearances. Courtesy runner came in to score for him on the last 2. He scored for himself back in the first. The 1-0 pitch. Brown misses low and outside. 2-0 count. A walk would end it here with the bases loaded. They play in on the infield. Two-0 pitch from Brown. He gets it over for a strike. (12-3) our score here. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Roseburg in front. A 2-1 pitch misses low for a 3-1 count. So it's got to be there. Otherwise, walking in from third will be Mason Young to finish this one here in the bottom of the 6th. A wind up for Brown. He will deliver, and there's ball 4. That will do it. So that'll bring the game to an end. A walk will score Mason Young. RBI for Amos Bowers, his second in the game. And it'll be a 10-run victory for Roseburg as they will finish it off here in the bottom of the 6th. 13-3 is the final score. Roseburg gets the win, their 5th consecutive. And we will wrap it up here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's go ahead and take a 3-minute timeout. We will come back with final numbers from Game 1 and start getting you ready for Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader. Starting to cool off, starting to get a little dark here at the ballpark, but it's stayed dry for us, and we've been able to get one game in so far. A second on its way. We'll recap Game 1 before we head that direction here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking to expand your portfolio? Consolidate your investments with Palm Wealth Management. Our trusted team makes it easy to diversify and track your investments. Let Palm Wealth Management coordinate your financial strategy. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
We are back here at Champion Car Wash Field as we wrap up Game 1 of today's doubleheader. The Roseburg Indians get the victory by a score of 13-3 in 6 innings. Roseburg improves to 5-0 in league play. They are 8-3 overall. For South Eugene, they go to 0-10, and they are now 0-5 in Southwest Conference play. Roseburg has won 5 straight games, all of them in league play. Game 2 will be coming up in just a little bit. Well, the final numbers, 3 runs on 8 hits, 5 errors, and 5 men left on base for South Eugene. Roseburg, 13 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left on base. Fletcher Coleman gets the win to go to 1-0 on the year, his first victory in his 4th start of the season. Coleman goes 6 innings. He allows 3 runs on 8 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. On the other side, for South Eugene taking the loss, Jonah Alexander, he gives up 8 runs on 7 hits over 4 innings. He walked 2, struck out 3, and hit 2 batters as well. Kinsley Aldrich pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs on 3 hits. He walked 2 and hit 1. Zane Brown pitched 1/3 of an inning. He gives up 1 run on 1 hit with 3 walks and no strikeouts. Roseburg took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. That came on a throwing error by the catcher. He was throwing it back to the mound, threw it over the head of the pitcher. That allowed Amos Bowers to score from third. It was 1-0 Roseburg in front, but South Eugene would score 3 runs in the top of the third. They would take their first lead against Roseburg in the series. A 1-out walk put a man on base, and then followed by a single, and then a double by Jonah Alexander would put 2 runs on the board. He would be thrown out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. So there were 2 outs, but then a single by Burke Sherman got a runner on, and Mike Grilly would get on after getting hit by a pitch. Liam Donlin singled to right field, and that would put runners on every base. A pass ball allowed Burke Sherman to come in to score to make it 3-1, South Eugene in front. But Roseburg tied the game in the bottom of the 4th with a pair of runs. In the 4th inning, Rylan Glasser drove in 1 run on an infield single, and Danner Wirtz had a sac fly to bring home a run. And in the 5th inning, Roseburg put 9 runs on the board to make it a 9-run lead as they regathered the lead in the 5th. They couldn't finish it off to get to the 10-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. They finally do in the 6th on a bases-loaded walk to Amos Bowers. Taking a look at some numbers, Gino Humphrey goes 3 for 3 for South Eugene. Jonah Alexander was 1 for 2 with a double and 2 runs driven in. He also had a walk. Burke Sherman was 2 for 3 with a pair of singles, a run scored. Mike Grilly got on with a hit by pitch, but that was all he was able to do. Liam Donlin goes 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, also walked. Bowie Grams reached base twice, once on a walk, once on an error. Let's see here. Matt Moreno walked, and his only at-bat, he came in for Eli Bishko. And then Bryce Roberts at the bottom of the order. He walked and scored a run in the game as well. For Roseburg, Paxton Burke had a single and walked twice. He scores once. He ends up going 1 for 3. Amos Bowers had 2 hits in the game and was hit by a pitch and walked. The courtesy runner scoring for him a couple of times. He ends up scoring 3 total. He drove in 2 runs as well. Fletcher Coleman was a home run shy of the cycle. He had a triple, then a single, then a double. He drives in a pair, scores twice. Danner Wirtz ended up going 0 for 2 in the game. He drives in a pair, one on a sac fly, once on an error. He also walked. A.J. Black goes 1 for 2 with a single. He was he goes 1 for 3 with a single. He was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and scored twice. Christian Corba was 2 for 3 in the game with a pair of singles. He drove in a run, had the RBI there, scored once, also had a walk. He got on base all 4 times, once on a fielder's choice as well. Nick Ruiz was 0 for 2 in the game. He walked and had a sac fly to drive in a run. Mason Young goes 1 for 3 with an RBI single. He walked and scored twice. Rylan Glasser was 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and had an RBI in there as well. That is a look at the numbers for this one here in Game 1. We've got Game 2 coming up in just a little while from now. So we will wrap it up there. Roseburg gets a 13-3 win in Game 1 of a doubleheader. That is 2 straight victories by the 10-run rule for Roseburg. On Tuesday, it came in 5 innings. Tonight, it comes in 6. Game 2 going to be coming up in just a little bit. For those that are watching online, we'll take a break. We will come back and get the Game 2 started for you in a little bit on the video stream. If you are following along with us on the radio, we will have a look at what's going on in sports around the Umpqua Basin. When we come back, a little trip around the Umpqua Basin for you as we get ready for Game 2. So stay with us. We'll have a look at some things coming up here. We also have your This Day in Baseball history coming up in Game 2 of our doubleheader as well. I'm Joey Keeran. Game 1 is in the books, 13-3. Roseburg in front of South Eugene. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and we come back with our Roseburg Disposal pregame show for Game 2 of our doubleheader on 541 Radio.